Are you ready for a cold one? Crack open a can of chaos as we dive into the collapse of Bud Light. That's right, the once mighty beer giant is now drowning in a sea of controversy. You might think it's all fun and games in the world of beer, but oh boy, you couldn't be more wrong. For every ice-cold brewski enjoyed at a tailgate, there's a marketing executive sweating bullets over how to keep the brand afloat. And no one is sweating more than the folks at Anheuser-Busch, the parent company of Bud Light. So, what's all the fuss about? Well, it all started with an innocent little marketing partnership featuring a transgender influencer named Dylan Mulvaney. Little did they know that this small campaign would trigger a chain reaction that would send the brand into a downward spiral. Today, we'll explore the controversy surrounding Bud Light's questionable marketing choices, while raising a toast to other brands that have faced similar fiascos. Anheuser-Busch InBev is a multinational beverage and brewing conglomerate. They're basically the Thanos of the beer industry, snapping their fingers and acquiring smaller breweries left and right. Headquartered in Belgium, this beer juggernaut's vast portfolio includes more than 500 brands, such as Stella Artois, Corona, Beck's, Leffe, Hoegaarden, and many more. They're the masterminds behind the liquid courage that fuels countless college parties, backyard barbecues, and sports events worldwide. With such a diverse range of offerings, it's no wonder they've managed to maintain their dominant position in the industry. Anheuser-Busch InBev is now in the spotlight not just because of the Bud Light controversy, but also due to its response to the whole fiasco. After all, it's not just their marketing blunder that's interesting, it's the company's attempts to manage the situation. It seems Bud Light had only the purest intentions when they sent a personalized can to Dylan Mulvaney, celebrating her transition journey. But oh, did the tables turn when conservative beer drinkers caught wind of the ad. Suddenly, the beloved beverage was being accused of going woke, and the brewing company was caught in a whirlwind of backlash. Now, you might think that the company would stand by their campaign, especially since it was designed to promote inclusivity. But no, instead, they chose to play it safe and appease the masses, which only made things worse. Anheuser-Busch InBev's CEO, Brendan Whitworth, released a statement that basically said, "Hey, we just wanted to bring people together over a beer, not divide them. Yeah, because nothing says unity like throwing your own marketing campaign under the bus, am I right?" In the midst of the chaos, Dylan Mulvaney reacted to the backlash with grace and poise. She called out the online bullying and the attempts to shame anyone who associates with trans people. Mulvaney acknowledged that she was an easy target because she was still new to this and didn't understand the critics' goal. Despite the turmoil, she continued to post positive and uplifting content on her social media platforms. So, what happens when a beer giant faces a boycott? Their sales plummet, of course. Bud Light's sales reportedly dropped by a whopping 26.1% in the week ending April 22nd, compared to the same time a year ago. Meanwhile, rival beer brands like Miller Lite and Coors Light were laughing all the way to the bank as their sales started to roar. But wait, here's more. Anheuser-Busch InBev, which produces a staggering 25% of all beer consumed globally, saw its overall beer sales increase by a measly 0.4% in Q1 2023 compared to a year ago. It seems that Bud Light's controversy isn't just hurting its own sales, but the reputation of its parent company as well. As if the plummeting sales weren't enough, two executives who oversaw Bud Light marketing, Alyssa Heinerscheid and her boss, Daniel Blake, took a leave of absence amid the backlash. Now, Todd Allen, Budweiser's global vice president, is stepping in to clean up the mess. Good luck with that, Todd. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Do boycotts like the one Bud Light is facing actually work? Well, boycotts can impact a company's public image and reputation, but there's less evidence that they have a long-term impact on sales revenue. That's right, it's just a matter of time before people get tired of boycotting and move on to the next big outrage. But until then, Bud Light is stuck in boycott limbo. There are, however, instances where boycotts have been successful. Remember the 1977 Nestle boycott over the company's infant formula marketing practices in developing countries? It took 7 whole years before Nestle agreed to comply with the World Health Organization's code, and the boycott was suspended. So, while Bud Light's boycott might not be as dramatic, people do have long memories, and politically charged issues like this one can stick around for quite some time. It'll be fascinating to watch how this beer saga unfolds. What makes Bud Light particularly vulnerable to boycotts, is the sheer number of alternatives available in the market. With so many competitors, it's a breeze for customers to switch brands and join the boycott bandwagon. But that's not the only issue. A huge chunk of beer sales happens in public spaces like concerts or bars, where consumers may feel pressured by their peers to avoid the controversial product. That's a double whammy for Bud Light. Despite the turmoil surrounding Bud Light and its ill-fated partnership with Dylan Mulvaney, marketing experts believe that inclusive ads are good business and aren't going anywhere. So, even though Anheuser-Busch InBev might be distancing itself from their influencer in question, we're likely to see more companies embracing diversity in their advertising campaigns. So, the million-dollar question remains, are boycotts worth it? Consumer activism is powerful, and people can register political dissent through their purchasing decisions. While individual actions might not make a massive difference, they can still be personally significant. In the case of Bud Light, it's challenging for a boycott to have a long-term impact, especially considering the massive portfolio of Anheuser-Busch InBev. But for now, it seems that the brand's collapse is in full swing, and we can't wait to see how this intoxicating tale plays out. It's only fair to point out that they're not the only brand that has faced controversies for their ads or campaigns. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane to revisit some of these PR disasters. Remember the Kendall Jenner Pepsi ad in 2017? The one where she joins a protest and hands a can of Pepsi to a police officer. As if that would solve all the world's problems. Yeah, the ad that trivialized social movements and police brutality. It was pulled within 24 hours after a massive backlash online. But the damage was already done. Pepsi's good intentions fizzled out like a flat can of soda left out in the sun. Then we have Airbnb's #WeAccept ad from 2017 that got them called hypocritical. Carl's Jr.'s sleazy burger commercials. They use sexualized images of women to sell burgers. Feminists and activists slammed the ads for being sexist, objectifying, and degrading. Calvin Klein's #MyCalvin's ad from 2016. A photo of model Clara Kristen taken from below her skirt with the caption, "I flash in #MyCalvins." People condemned the ad as voyeuristic, predatory, and suggestive of sexual assault. Calvin Klein defended the ad as artistic and provocative, but also apologized to those who felt offended. Looks like the brand had a hard time keeping its reputation underwear. And who could forget Diesel's Be Stupid campaign from 2010? The campaign featured images of young people doing reckless or silly things with slogans like, "Smart may have the brains, but stupid has the balls." Or, "Smart critiques, stupid creates." While the campaign aimed to celebrate creativity and risk-taking, it faced backlash for encouraging irresponsible behavior and glorifying stupidity. Diesel may have tried to be stupid, but in the end, they just ended up looking dumb. So as we chuckle at the Bud Light fiasco, let's not forget that they're just the latest in a long line of brands that have found themselves in problems over their marketing choices. It's a cruel world out there, and sometimes even the most well-intentioned ads can crash and burn. So there you have it. The once great Bud Light has been brought to its knees by a single marketing misstep. Will the company rise from the ashes like a phoenix, or continue to flounder in the face of public backlash? Only time will tell. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, cheers, just not with Bud Light.